Alrighty. Here's a guide to your boy Heinrix. This one is in mind that you're playing Dogmatic probably and not having best girl Idira, so take it with that in mind. I'm assuming you're playing without Idira and want a party support PSYKER, and this is how I build Heinrix in this case. Of course, there's great ways to make him more of a front line weapon kind of fighter, given the items in the game that make PSYKER melee pretty powerful late, but I feel frontline melee weapon type of builds are better on someone like Morajai or even a custom character, and we just want to make this dude your party buff plus damage PSYKER in case you're not playing with Idira. And so we're going to go Warrior Vanguard on him and not Warrior Militant or Assassin, because both Militant and Assassin have great, let's say, melee abilities that you really want to concentrate on than fighting instead of throwing around psychic powers and buffing allies and dealing psychic damage to enemies. So yeah, that's the way I'm going to build Heinrix, is to be very much just focused on Psy powers here. I feel that's still the best use case for him. So yeah, in Warrior, he starts set with these first 4 levels, say, and Coercion, not a really good talent, defensive maneuvers, so let's try to steer him in the direction that we want, which is being your party PSYKER. Desolation is still fine, he'll have some agility, it deals additional damage, it's good. Then we go Willpower, we'll take Divination immediately, because party PSYKER needs Divination, I feel. Lore Warp, Willpower again, this is the big thing, character training Fellowship, because he is a Sanctic PSYKER and they will want to scale Resolve. And so we'll just get it out of the way and take it here. Lore Warp again, Thick Skin, Warrior buff that is pretty handy just for the deflection, the extra deflection and some parry, it's no big deal. But one of the useful things in Warrior for him. Daring Breech 3, still pretty good. Crowd Kill, he will get his strength up somewhat during the playthrough, so, and it's on area attacks including PSYKER powers, so that's why we will take Crowd Kill from Warrior here. It's pretty good. There's only a few ways to buffing damage, which is mainly what I care about for his psychic attacks from Warrior, and that's one of them, Crowd Kill. Again, we took Unlocked Fellowship, so we start taking that as well. We will take Enfeeble here in prep for Warp later. You can take Invigorate. I find I don't need it. In your playstyle, you might want Invigorate instead of Enfeeble. I like this more. I like debuffing enemies more than healing my units. Psy 1, Fellowship, Coercion, because he started with Coercion, we'll just keep it going and take Lore Warp as well. Other skills he's okay at because he will have high strength is Athletics. You can consider taking Athletics instead. Psalm of Heroes, good PSYKER talent, Medicae, so he can use medkits. And then Strength here to get it up, as well as unlock Heavy Armor Proficiency later, and Biophysical Distortion, so he does some extra chip damage on AoEs. You can take It Will Not Die here as well, in case you're going into the Aurora fight, but this one is also pretty good. Then we go Vanguard on him, as I said, and get Prescience, where he key skill in Divination to buff everyone, including himself further. It Will Not Die. Resilient Beacon, just for less occasional crits, nothing big here. Yeah. Continue with Willpower as a first priority. Psy 2. Warp Speed, there it is. Great talent. You really want this one. Lore Warp. Fatebringer. Good PSYKER buff for everyone, especially because he has access to Word of the Emperor and spread this thing. Heavy Armor Proficiency, that's what we'll do on him. Fellowship, training Willpower, why not? More Willpower. Unflinching, another skill from Vanguard that is occasionally useful for min-maxing him in this role, because I'm assuming your party is going to have a lot of burst attacks around him, so he doesn't care about the first one. It's kind of useful situationally, why not? Lore Warp, Fellowship, Unyielding Guard 1, Formidable Distraction, just a penalty to dodge to enemies around him in case some are near him. Coercion, Strength, Shield of the Emperor, Psy rating 3, Agility, just to bring it up a bit more for Desolation. You can actually go something else here probably, now that I look at it, that it ended up odd. You can go Strength, it's also good, either Strength or Agility. Coercion, basically once you're through Willpower and Fellowship, you can focus on Strength or Agility. That's how it is. Coercion, Second Sight, just a bit more range on his Psy powers. Eventually his Perception will be alright. A Predicted Downfall, it's a nice PSYKER talent he can take. And Unyielding Guard, for... He won't be getting hit a lot, obviously, like the only time like your characters are attacked are through the first 3 acts, honestly, and after that it's whatever. And yeah, and that. And then when we get to Exemplar and finish off his kit, we just go Combat Meditation first, so he gets even more Willpower. Deterioration, because he is using that one debuff skill, AoE debuff, pretty nice Enfeeble, so why not take Deterioration here to buff it up. Lore Warp, Beacon of Might. He is under Toughness from time to time, so he can buff his Strength even more for the Crowd Kill buff, and then throw Lightning, you know, with a Crowd Kill buff. And then Willpower, Character Training Strength. yeah, going all in on that. Metabolic Overcharge. So he's basically a quasi-officer now, giving people free turns as well. Lure Warp, Steel Shell, because his deflection will be quite high. That's his defensive way to preserve himself sometimes. Psi 4, Willpower, Eternal Glory, Hammer of the Emperor, AoE damage buff for the party, Fellowship, Sacred Rituals, Ready to Serve. Again, his result is quite good, his Fellowship is quite good. We take it because he throws a lot of buffs on people. Coercion, Cataclysm, buff damage. Ramming Speed, basically, I thought a lot about remaining warrior talents, and this is just there to get him into positions quicker, basically, and that's all it is. Coercion, Opening Strike, why not? Just a debuff on some people, so your ranged attackers deal more damage to them. Athletics, Destined, buff to armor, his armor will be quite good. Fellowship, Strength, Athletics, Perfection Under Fire, just an overall buff to get these stats pretty high and ridiculous. Athletics, yeah. And then Edge of Dawn, he's not going to be like near enemies too much anymore at this point, but why not? 10% extra damage on occasion when you want it. Punish the Imprudent, it's an okay skill from Vanguard. There's only so much you want to take from Vanguard, honestly, but like he can go for attacks of opportunity on occasion. It's good for action economy. Athletics, doing my part. He'll likely be the only Vanguard you have, so it's not bad in preparation for this one. That's why I basically take it. CTP is to buff Second Sight, give him more range. You can try to fit this one in earlier somewhere in the sequence, but maybe here is better for it, looking at it. But it'll buff the range of the psychic powers he can throw around. And Follow My Lead is pretty much the only thing from Vanguard that I think is exceptionally good, and you can really consider taking it earlier, but that would mean giving up something, either one of these, I would say, because like everything, all the abilities he took prior, like Prescience or Warp Speed, is pretty essential. And from here, yes, you can consider taking this Vanguard ability earlier. Yeah. The thing is, why I didn't do it, let me explain. It can be a great buff for you and your party to increase their damage to someone. The thing is, this thing, for which you do need Shield of the Emperor to get to Hammer of the Emperor, obviously does it much easier in an AoE, and this one is much more trickier to set up. That's why it's kind of the last thing you take, but it's from Vanguard, it's one of the better abilities to take for your party to get their damage up against units. And Perception is like the last thing, just to buff Second Sight. In terms of his final inventory, Ethereal Visor, best in slot for head. You'll need very high rep with the Explorators to get it. Of course, before that, you can go for where is it? Yeah, Eyes of Joyous from the Colony Project on Fallstone. This is his best helmet for most of the game, honestly, unless you have like a specific PSYKER with Dogmatic with higher ranking. But this helmet in the mid game pulls him slightly ahead in terms of Psi rating ahead of Idira. So yeah, it makes him good. Actually, a good unit, I would say. But like, if you can get this one towards endgame, this is best in slot. This is best armor he can go for. He can go for the Psi breastplate, heavy armor as well. That one was bugged. I believe they fixed it. But if you want to, you can use that one for most of the playthrough on him as well. Yeah, this PSYKER's breastplate, because it does buff him up. Warp Reflex Ring. And yeah, Spirit Drape is like a must thing on these units, and that's why I don't take Adrenaline Surge on him. It's not needed anymore with this item. The Aquila is good. It's either Aquila or Vortex, and that's pretty much the best neck item for these PSYKERs, either one of these. But this one's a must-have, the Spirit Drape. Extra turns with Warp Reflex, Ring, and Abyssal Conduit. Insane item, and some PSYKER staffs. You can go for the Blood Drinker. You always go for the Shock and Awe, the Lightning Staff, and then here you go either for the Blood Drinker or for the specific Sanctic staff. Pick one. Both are good actually. And yeah, he's pure PSYKER. He'll just be throwing PSYKER powers and doing buffs. And then continuing, yeah, like Spirit Drape, must-have item, Abyssal Conduit, and I like the Zealot Cloak on these units, either him or Idira, because on occasion they do deal damage to your own party members because of their Psy powers more often than not, so the Zealot is very nice on them. And these boots are probably best in slot because of following Vanguard, but you get them so late. But they're definitely best in slot for a Vanguard with following, just because of that ridiculous plus 33 bonus to damage for allies who are after using following. but it's a very late game thing. So like before that, you can go for some PSYKER boots or just general boots like Sororitas or let me think. Unyielding, that won't do much for you. Maybe even the Ergo for Desolation buff if someone else is not using them, but these are best in slot, obviously, for this build. Yeah, that's the build. I think he is the one helm, the Eyes of Joyous, definitely kind of pulls him a bit ahead in terms of Psy rating compared to Idira mid-game, which makes him quite good, actually. Without it, I don't think he'd be that good a unit personally, but with that helm, he does pull ahead. Idira does have the better passives, I think, because of unsanctioned PSYKER for damage and stuff, but he gets there as well and is quite good in this role, and is very tanky to boot. Yeah, that's the build.